So I was looking back at my career in the entertainment industry the other day, and I was asking myself, why? And then I thought about my legacy and the heritage. You know, at the end of our career, we hand something over to the next generation, and sometimes it can be a burden. You know, for the next generation, and they will spend their lives in getting rid of some of that load. And sometimes, you know, it's a very light heritage. So, my heritage was my uncle, who was in the Encyclopedia Britannica. So he was there. He had his own laboratory where he spent most of his life doing all sorts of interesting things that I don't really understand. But he was like a big example for me. And I was also proud of being Dutch. But then my uncle disappeared from the Encyclopedia Britannica. I found out that the Golden Age was financed by drugs and that my country is the biggest drug producer in the world. So I had nothing left. I was like Ilka, basically, who also had nothing, but he built a whole, you know, most the successful entrepreneur in our industry. And all my text is gone. And he made all the Finns proud of being Finnish. This is another Finn. This is the guy who created Snake, the very first mobile game, somewhere in Turku. His name is Taneli Armanto. But he didn't really make a career in mobile games since then, but he did leave a legacy.
6 young men from Finland are about to get $20 million.
This is another story of Finland, of Riot E, that Willem, I didn't know that, but Willem spoke about them before.
Later,
they blew away $20 million in 666 days. This is probably the hero of many of the people here. He made Zelda, and Zelda is, according to the people I know in the industry, the best game ever. And his legacy will, you know, remain for many, many years. Now, this is Eric. Eric is an animator working in Denmark. He's working on a big movie called The Wanderers. And he's working very, very hard to make The Wanderers into a big success, because he doesn't want to be reminded that he is the maker of this. This is Orson Welles. Orson Welles made the best movie ever, called Citizen Kane. It's about the rise and fall of a media mogul. And but imagine being his daughter or his son, and you're probably not going to choose a career in the movie industry. This is another cigar, but you know, it's a long story. It's very sad that the cigar became Bill Clinton's legacy, although he was probably a very, very good president. And another unknown president, James Buchanan, he is, according to historians, the worst president ever of the United States, because, sorry?
Until now.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll come to that later, of course. And and this is Mr. Truman. He is remembered not for his cigars or lack of decision, but for deciding to throw 2 atomic bombs on Japan, causing the immediate death of 120,000 Japanese and a lot of other people afterwards. But I think it's and you know, he also ended the Second World War. You know, and I think it's my favorite speech of George Bush. I think it's you know, difficult. The man on the moon, you know, this is the big inspiration for Elon Musk. He wants to be the first man on Mars. He's the inspiration for many of the billionaires in our industry. They want to be, you know, extend their entertainment and their life, the rest of the universe. In January 2009, President Obama signed executive orders directing the CIA to shut what remains of its network of secret prisons and ordering the closing of Guantanamo detention camp within a year. Today, the camp is still open, and it throws a shadow on his legacy. This is Trump's legacy. His mother's haircut. It's called a Trump. He modified it a little bit, but that's where it comes from. This is what he will leave. You know, it's one of the part of the legacy that he will leave when he's leaving the White House. It will probably look like this when he is when he's gone. He's now currently pimping Air Force One. He'll probably pimp the White House as well, and he will leave a couple of words in the American language. I think, a Trump, for instance, but he's going to give a lot of weight to his son, Barron, who is here standing next to him. And I would advise Barron to follow the legacy of his mother instead of his father. Thank you very much.